How you guys doing?
Yeah.
So I just graduated from school a little while ago, and trying to figure out how to live not in a dorm. And one of the things that you don't really think about is your roommate, but you really need to put some thought into this. I don't really care if you're messy or you get high, every once in a while. Everyone does that kind of thing. But one thing that you might not think is a big deal, but it really is if your roommate is having a lot more sex than you. Because that can be really depressing. Your roommate's banging all the time. And this is the case with me. Actually, the other day, my roommate was just fucking the shit out of someone. And I was sitting in the common room, and I just hear the bed rattling, just ass slapping, just moaning coming from the room, and I'd had enough. I couldn't concentrate on what I was doing, beating off. So I walk over to the wall, and I bang on it a couple of times, and I just go, "Hey, Mom, shut up!" I'm just kidding. I would never say that to my mom. We have a very good relationship. She's very loving. She tries to motivate me a lot. She went back to school to get her master's, and I came home one day, and she had gotten her diploma, and she put it on my bed with a Post-it note that said, "Look, I did it." And this actually did the opposite of inspire me. It caused me to go to the liquor store and buy a fifth of Jack, which I drank, blacked out, passed out on my bed. My mom comes in the morning, sees the scene in front of her, and rolls me over and goes, "Eric, what do you want to do with your life?" And I looked at her, and then I looked at the diploma, and I pulled off the Post-it note, and I stuck it to the Jack, and I said, "Look, I did it." But my mom didn't always used to have more sex than me. I used to have a girlfriend. We got in a lot of fights. And one fight we got in was when she overheard one of my coworkers asking me if I would be the sperm donor for her kid. Actually, what she overheard was, "Come in my face!" But we got over that. She was even more upset about this. I was very adamant about practicing safe sex, or as I used to call it with her, anal sex. No, but I really thought she was the one. I took her home for the holidays to meet everyone, over to my grandparents' house. But this was a particularly awkward Christmas because this was when my sister decided to tell the entire family that she wanted to get a sex change. She wanted to be a dude. And my dad and my mom, they're very supportive, and after they got over the initial shock, my dad looks at my sister and he goes, "Well, you might want to make it bigger than Eric's." So I decided I had to get out. I went to the only place where you can go to forget everything, Vegas. But before I left, my mom said to me, she goes, "Eric," she goes, "just don't have sex with anyone. You're going to get an STD. And I was like, "Okay, Mom, don't worry about that." So I get to Vegas. I'm at the blackjack table with my buddies. And my buddy gets dealt 2 10s, dealer's showing a 6. And he looks more confused than Paris Hilton when she's looking at a Sudoku board. And he goes, "Do I split these?" None of us know. We're all 4 or 5 Long Islands deep. And he looks over at the side of the table. The only other lady sitting there was this old lady that resembled what Rosie O'Donnell would look like if she was a woman. And she takes a drag of her cigarette. She looks at my friend, and she goes, "Son, if you had a 10-inch dick, would you cut it in half?" So he stayed, dealer busted, he won a bunch of money. A couple hands later, I get dealt 2 3s. I look at Rosie and I go, "Now this is a little more relevant, isn't it?" So 10 hours later, I wake up next to this wildebeest. And the first thing I think is, not again. But the second thing I think is, shit, I have an STD. So right when I get home, I go to the doctor's, I get an STD test, and I'm waiting for the next couple days for the results. And finally they come in the envelope, and I open it up right away. And I look, and my eyes wide, and I read it, and it goes, your results were normal. So I run into the kitchen, give it to my mom, and go, look, I did it. That's all I got. Thanks a lot, guys.